Hi Caroline, how you doing? I've got your work up and excuse me. I just want to say this is really, really refreshing. And it's so nice to see a student designer that's not afraid to use white. And you're doing so wonderfully. And I think the results just are remarkable. Um, just because these pages are so inviting and there's the hierarchy is there's just no compromise whatsoever. You know exactly where you want your viewer to start, and the viewer knows exactly where to start. um, I've got a couple of suggestions. No, I'm fine with your setup. I think it's really fascinating. It's really, really interesting, Caroline. The page sizes themselves, I think are, I mean, that's really interesting stuff. You're at 5 by, you're at 5 by 8 on the spread on the fold, so that's 5 by 16 open. And that's really interesting. I can't wait to see this thing photographed and mocked up. So, all right, good job, good job, good job. All right, that's the layout part. Now, let's look at the typography part. Okay, so I think that you know what, actually, I like that view out there like that because it shows typographic color. And what is typographic color? Typographic color is the way that paragraphs look tonally. That's Tonally, not totally, but tonally. And when we back off like this, we can start to see that there's differences in the tone of your type. Let me just back off a little further and you can see, and this is a really great technique to check typographic color. So keep this in mind. But anyways, you see how this paragraph right here looks lighter than this paragraph, specifically this area right here. Look how dark that looks. Look how dark this area right here looks, and this area right here, okay? And this is the reason why boy, when students when they start to learn how to justify type, a lot of students fall in love with it and they run with it. And I've seen students use justify type expressly for years on end. And I am not a fan. I think it's really difficult to work with. I think and if you do it correctly, it can be gorgeous, but it's extremely time consuming and tedious to set justify type. I will give you settings, um, but I just want you just think about it. Okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. See, there's a space right there. Look at that huge space right there. Look at that huge space there. Look at this space right here. We're seeing rivers. That's chunks of white. We're seeing through your paragraphs. There's one right there. Here's a huge space here, huge space here. And then your baseline's not aligning right there. There's little text here, so that's going to be an easy adjustment. Might as well get that incomplete alignment right there. Okay, let's look over here. Same thing. Now your indents here, boy, two spaces isn't enough. I know I said 9 or 10 is too much. I'm going 3 or 4 because we can see, and again, let's back off, and you can see how it almost just looks like a mistake. It doesn't look like a demarcating a new paragraph. It looks like the typesetter maybe accidentally dropped that G in there by 2 spaces. Okay, so let's go 3 or 4 on the indent. I think your kerning is really, really tight here. I'll bet your type is probably 10/12, maybe 8/10. Well, it is a pretty big page size, but you're no more than your leading is no more than 20% your kerning, and that's good. I mean your type size, and that's good. But your kerning here is really, really tight. So much so that it's probably not even kerning; it's tracking. So I would adjust your tracking on all of your paragraphs just to open up some of this inviting white space that you're using into your type instead of having this expansive white space and then this really, really tight, packed type. Okay. Um, the one good thing, this looks good. That's nice. That's nice. I don't know how you feel about. I mean, I'm dogmatic when it comes to alignment, as you know, but that's out of alignment. And so is this. This is up a little bit too high. This is a little bit too low. If we're using the image itself for alignment. That quote should be hung, meaning it should hang over the right margin. Boy, this is tough. This just looks so odd right here, this type. I gotta recommend you do something here, man. Let's get him down here. Let's bleed his legs off the page and do something. But that's really, really uncomfortable right there. There's a widow right there. Orphans and widows, got to check every page because that's something that your type, you're right there. Technically, that's a widow. Your hiring professional or design, your portfolio reviewer is going to take a good close look at your orphans and widows and things like that. But listen, I'm down with this, man. I think it's wonderful. I really do. I can't wait to see you mock this up. Good luck. If you have any questions or if you need any help, well, you know what? You got the video in there. You'll be fine. You know what you're doing. Notice something over here. What? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me just do this. Ah, boy. Come on, Acrobat. Come on, come on. Just not what it used to be, is it? Okay, I can't pull guides, but anyways, I'm just checking to see if that is in alignment over here. So let's try it this way. I am so sorry about this. Yeah, God, I miss the old Adobe products. Okay, enough of my ranting about about Acrobat. You're doing wonderfully, and I really, really, really mean that. So, looking forward to the final. Any questions, comments, or if you need help, give me a holler. Thanks, Carolyn.